Speak, for your servant is listening. Today's first reading from 1 Samuel gives us the famous call of the prophet Samuel, through whose ministry the early days of the monarchy in Israel take shape. Samuel, as prophet, is one through whom the Lord's voice is heard in the early kingdom of Israel. Now, as the story unfolds, we see Samuel sleeping in the temple where the Ark of the Covenant was. And by the way, that's not the temple in Jerusalem, which wasn't built yet, but in Shiloh. The point is that he's resting in the presence of the Lord, and he hears the Lord calling him. After some confusion, Samuel initially thinks it's Eli, the priest, calling him. Eli asks him to say these words, "Speak, your servant is listening." And so he does. And the message he gets is actually not too favorable to Eli and his sons, although Eli is receptive to it. But the point I want to emphasize today is Samuel's posture of listening. It is his receptivity to the Lord's message that makes him able to transmit that message to others. But he must listen first. Now, oftentimes today, we're correctly urged to take up our baptismal call to share in Christ's prophetic office, to be a prophet. Now, this is an important part of our ability to share the gospel, to let God use our voices in the world. However, to speak prophetically is not something we can just undertake in a haphazard way. To do it properly, we must open our hearts to hear the message of the Lord before we can speak that message. Now, this sounds almost like a truism, but sometimes it's easy to forget. It's easy to get caught up in our outward words and gestures and to leave aside our quiet time with the Lord. But let's remember today that if we really want to be prophetic, and we should want that, we must pray and listen for the voice of the Lord.